Paul, your character, he ended up being pretty over the top, kind of eccentric. So what was more fun, playing this sort of eccentric, kind of different, unique doctor, or playing a superhero?
Um, there, there's something really fun about playing a kind of a complex, nuanced character like Ike, because it's just from an acting point of view, it's challenging and that's thrilling. And I think that
Mhm.
what we're saying and what we're talking about is worthwhile. And I love playing Ant-Man, and being in part of that whole Marvel universe is so surreal still. Um, and it's exciting, but it is also a different experience. It feels very different.
And I mean, a little bit of a spoiler. I think Paul's okay with this, but in the next Ant-Man, Ant-Man becomes a therapist.
Yeah.
So
It's all
it's full
kind of,
circle.
pretty. It all kind of goes into the grab bag, and I get confused. It's like, wait a minute, hold on, wait, which one am I playing?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just so hard to separate characters. Like, am I playing Ike? Am I playing Ant-Man? Let's just mush them all
Yeah.
together.
It's perfect. It's perfect. After working together for so long, it must have felt good to like reunite on this particular show. Is that right?
No question.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
It
good. Well,
was
I'm glad to hear it.
it was such a I mean, the unfortunate part of it in a weird way was just thinking, oh, why did we take this long to kind of find something to do? And but such a luxury to do something as complex as this with someone you feel so comfortable around.
And Will, does that mean that maybe you and Paul will have some more projects together after this?
It's crazy. We have 50 projects lined up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of you guys together.
Yeah.
It's
And by the way,
nuts.
and looking for another 50. So if you have
if you have
anything,
yeah.
I'll keep that in
please
mind.
get it.
This is obviously inspired by a true story. Paul, when did you hear about it, and how loosely based on the true story is the series?
Well, I heard about it when, it was a podcast, and I was listening to the podcast, um, and was pretty riveted by it. Like I think a lot of people who were listening to it at the time.
Hmm.
Will was also listening to it at the
Yeah.
time, and so that's how we kind of started talking about making this. Um, the story was reported by Jonah Sarah, who works at the New York Times. He kind of started this podcast, who happened to live next door to Marty. That's what inspired it. He told him the story. So, he had researched it for years and years, um, and our show is based on that. So, these are real people. This really happened. We had a great writer and showrunner, a woman named Georgia Pritchett, who works on Succession, as well as a really terrific writer's room. They wrote scripts based on the podcast, and then, and then also wrote scenes and focused on, and what they were interested in focusing on was truly like the relationship between these two guys, and in a way, the friendship between them, and how
How it goes south.
yeah,
Yeah.
codependency, but then true love, like a loving and caring relationship that has spirals out in different ways.
And it's funny and it's dark at the same time. And Will, I love what Ryan Reynolds said about you. He said that you live at the intersection of heartbreaking and funny. And I think that's pretty accurate, particularly for this series, because there's so much humor, but it's also a lot darker role than we normally see or expect from you. Do you agree with Ryan's assessment that it sort of describes this role pretty well?
No, yeah, that was a lovely quote from Ryan.
Sounds like a song lyric,
It
for God's
does.
sakes.
It's pretty nice.
A country song.
Yeah.
Right? But no, I think that sums up what this is. There's definitely humor, but along with that humor, there's real tragedy. That you know, the Marty's character does come around in the end, and find solace with the situation that starts out. But I mean, that's what's so interesting about the story, that it goes to such unbelievable depths of despair in a way.
I love that, Will, that you met with Marty. Paul,
Mhm.
did you get a chance to meet the real Ike?
I didn't. No.
So but how did you get into that role? Like, were you just doing more research on the story and what actually happened?
Yeah, I mean, I was listen to the podcast. I talked with Joe Nacera, who has spent time with Ike and had interviewed him,
Mm.
and Marty as well. Um, and so, there are certain things that are very well documented, and you think,
And Marty kept copious notes.
and so we had this to go on, and then when you're playing a real person and you're working on the material and you're actually acting it, at a certain point you have to kind of create a character,
Mhm.
and that's what it's what each of us did. We're both playing real people, but at a certain point we have to kind of conjure up what it is and who they are, and try and just play the drama and the truth in the scene. And that's all you can really do.
Well, I mentioned Ryan Reynolds a little bit earlier. Your TikTok with him has now garnered over 128 million views. I hope you guys have another plan. And when are you going to join TikTok yourself?
I don't even know what TikTok is. No, 128 million. That seems like it's good, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't mean to say good or bad. It seems like that's a lot. No, I don't have any plans as of yet, but you never know, huh?
Oh,
How's that for a teaser?
Thank you. We
I know
appreciate
this. If there's another one, I sure hope that we get to watch it from the intersection of hilarious and heartbreaking.
it. Incredible. Well, and at least we get to watch.
Thank you for watching. If you want more extra, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you'll never miss a video.